Good morning to you. Thank you for joining the Curt and Jen in the Morning podcast. We are so glad you're here.
True, true, true. Thank you for joining us this morning. And as we say every single morning, if you like what you see, what you hear, please feel free to follow, to like, to subscribe, all of those things. We sure appreciate everybody that already has. Thank you for that.
Yes. All
That's
right.
that.
Are
Lots
we?
of stuff to cover today too.
I feel like it. Like I had an eventful day yesterday.
Do tell.
Let's start with something both of us did, and that is we finally
Hmm.
did the Paws In challenge. So that's this big trend on TikTok. I feel like we're a little behind on that, but
Right.
that's all right.
Yeah.
It's where you have like at least two family members and you put your hands in like you're going, going to do a cheer or something, and you wait and see without being prompted if your dog will put his or her paw in with you.
Your dog who was sitting right there in between the two of you. And a lot of
Right.
people, they put their hands together, and you've seen people where the dog just right away, but my paw's on there too. One, two, three, doggies, or whatever they're going to say. Yeah, but until we tried it with our dog, in Jen's case, Sailor, and at my place, we've got Bella the Beagle. What was the result of you doing the Paws In challenge, Jen?
Sailor did it. I mean, here's the deal. I was so
Uh-oh.
excited that she did it because she, a snotty sailor. So
Right.
it took forever to get her to actually sit up and stay up because when Macy and I were sitting on the ground and she would come sit by us and then flop down. And there's no way she can get her paw in that
Because she's
way.
laying down like a lazy dog that
So
she
I had to
is.
figure out. Macy's like, Mom, it's because we are sitting down that Sailor's going to be down with us. So we just adjusted and finally we were able to keep her sitting up. And then right away she put her paw in. I was like so excited. Gave her so much love. Okay, what about Bella?
We couldn't even get her to sit still long enough to do it.
Are
She's a
you?
beagle, mind of her own. So it's like, come on, doop, 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 off I go.
Oh,
So you know what? Maybe it's still unknown. Let's just put it that way, because we couldn't get her, like you said. But see, you put the effort into it to make sure that Sailor actually was present and at least had the opportunity. We were like, oh, she's not going to do it. So
you have to set them up for some kind of success for sure.
right. Bella, so everybody knows, and maybe this is typical beagle behavior, but she's very much like a cat. She's, if she needs something from you, she's very interested in you. Otherwise, she's doing her own thing. One of the cutest things she does is I don't know if Sailor does this too, but some dogs bury bones, or they bury treats, or they bury stuff outside in the ground. And so when we give Bella a bone, she will go outside and she will bury it, which is hilarious. And sometimes we'll find them weeks later, whatever the case may be, because I guess she buries them and forgets them. But the funny thing is, if she's out burying the bone and we go outside and see her, immediately she grabs it and takes it someplace else because we saw the burial point, and
Oh
that's
my.
not cool. She really does. She's like, oh crap. So then we got to go back inside, let her find a new spot, and bury her bones. So that is really cute when she does that. But as far as the Paws In challenge so far, no, no.
Well, the new challenge is instead of putting, how like in the Pause In challenge, you're kind of putting your hand like your palm is facing down.
Right.
What I'm talking about,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is you're supposed to now try it with the palm up and see if they'll rest their head in your palm. And that dogs are doing it. They just put their head right on their owner's hands.
All right. I don't know. Is somebody making money off of this? Because that's what it sounds like. It's like, now try it this way.
I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna try. I'm gonna try it the other way either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see.
Okay. All
Also,
right.
like I am in this parenting like bad situation with parenting. I just don't like it when my kids don't like me. And right now, Macy I am not her favorite person.
What happened? What did you do, Mom?
She's gonna hate that I'm just putting this out there, but she did not turn in one of her assignments on time in one of her
Hmm.
classes, and she lied
Hmm.
about it. And
Oh,
that's a hard line in our family. That's one of our core values is honesty.
right,
So I'm not being as strict as I believe her father would be, but
right.
I'm being pretty like, okay, we're laying down the law right now. This is how
Did
it's
she
gonna
lose
be.
some phone
It's
privileges or something?
it's phone related, right? She's always
Oh,
on her phone. She's just always on her phone. And so I'm trying to figure out how I don't know. I'm just navigating through this, listen, this is not what life is about. And so things
Right.
have to change. And
I have nothing to offer here, having no kids, but it sounds like that'd be a real challenge. And because aren't all the kids always on their phone all the time?
well, I mean, it seems like it, but I'm trying to have it not be that way. And yeah, it certainly can't get in the way of getting your assignment in and done. So
Right. And
yeah.
that was the thing with us growing up too. We learned it's like it's way better to um to say, yeah, I screwed up than to lie about it. If you say I screwed up, you might get, punished for whatever. But if you
Right.
lie about it, double or triple.
And here's the thing, Curt, you know this. She's a great kid. Macy's
Hmm.
a great kid. She's smart. She's getting good grades. But you know what? If you let one thing slip, it might seem like maybe I'm a helicopter parent, but she did tell me before she turned the assignment in when we were addressing it before this even happened. She's like, Mom, I'm getting good grades. I get my work in. I got it handled. I'm like, okay,
All
fine.
right.
But then
Until
turns out that she didn't. And
I'm sorry, I know.
speaking
Did
about
she actually say I don't like you, mom?
no, but it's not, she's being like Sailor, snotty.
Okay.
So I
How are you stroking out?
got bad vibe in my house going. Yeah, and then speaking of being on Macy being on her phone all the time, I can't be on my phone all the time. My phone is literally stroking out. It is like not working. I had to delete pictures. The storage is full. It won't like my friends sent some messages about their kids graduating with photos. Photos didn't come through. I mean, it was crazy how my phone was acting up. I couldn't even delete pictures at first. So I had to call
Wow.
My daughter Riley. I'm like, what is going on? And then she kind of had her words with me about, Mom, I told you you can't get your phone get so clogged up because then it won't work.
Exactly.
Like I'm trying to delete. And she's like, your phone's so full, it doesn't even have the capacity to delete pictures right now.
Wow. That's when I did know that was the case with like your laptops and your iPads. Once you get close to filling up that if you have a 256 gig hard drive, if you get to like, 240 gigs in there, it's gonna slow down. And like you said, it's gonna start having mistakes and whatnot. So you need to spend a day and get rid of one more time. How many pictures do you have on your phone? Photos.
Well,
Go.
I started to delete things. I'm gonna tell you that. Like I started to figure out how I
So
could
this is
delete things.
post deleting some stuff. How many photos are left?
I'm looking. Okay, I'm looking. I'll let you know. Let's go on to like tell me about this Paris thing because I was excited to look up a photo.
Okay. Well, the of course the Olympics are going to be in Paris coming up here starting in the end of July, and they just the Parisians, the French just they unveiled a display of the five Olympic rings mounted to the Eiffel Tower, which of course is going to be it's going to be a big part of what's going on as far as I think every time you come back from a commercial break or go into a commercial break, there's going to be the Eiffel Tower with the rings on it. So if you want to see it, just 50 days away until the start of the summer games. It looks pretty cool. It's there's some people standing around there. You can see how big these rings are on the side of the Eiffel Tower. And I guess it's 30 feet in diameter, each ring.
30
30 feet in
feet,
diameter.
30
And of
feet
course,
in diameter.
there's five of them. So quick
It looks
math,
cool.
somehow that's 150 feet worth of rings.
It were it It looks awesome. It's worth
Right.
looking
So
at the picture. And I don't even know how I'd forgotten because I'm living under a rock, I guess, that the Olympics are starting soon. It's
July 26th through August 11th, the Paris Games, followed by the Paralympics after that. The
awesome.
Paralympics, yeah.
Go
So
Paris. Go Paris.
you should
Okay,
know your photos by now.
I do. I have just over 3,400 photos and I have 374 videos. That's the
There's the
problem,
problem. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing I'm just noticing. It's still not deleting. This is the
Well, see if
problem.
you can save all those photos to your cloud drive, and then that'll clear up space
Oh
on your
no,
phone.
my cloud's full. They want more money. I'm not giving them more money.
Well, I am out of ideas then.
Okay,
Give them
thanks
more
for
money. Give them more money.
tell me about your grocery store situation.
You know what? The grocery store, and this is, I think, a first. Yesterday I went to the grocery store. Dana said, get these four things. All
Okay.
right. Since I'm now a house husband, temporarily at least, I ran to the grocery store and I came back with just the things that I went to the store for. Never happens.
Are you
It
kidding me?
was lemon juice, lime juice, almond milk, and one more thing, which how come I can't remember right now? Oh, yeah. Um, it'll come to me. Anyway, those four items were all that I got. And I came home and I was like, wow, is that a first? I know it'd be a first for you. Have you ever gone to the store and come back with just what you had
Yes,
on your
I
list?
have. It's very rare, but yes, I have. Lemon juice and lime juice. What are you making? Cocktails?
They're available for cocktails if need be. Yes, I like to. We don't drink really. We don't really drink soda like Coke or Pepsi or anything. We drink just the Spindrift water, the sparkling water, and I like to add a little extra lime or a little extra lemon to the lemon and lime
Oh,
flavored ones.
yumalish. Okay.
Yeah,
Way to
yeah. Why can't I
go.
think of? Oh, bread was the fourth thing.
Bread. Yum.
Yeah.
I like bread.
So we did it. I mean, I did it. So I mean, I wish that I had the applause ready to go. And then I can applause for myself, but we don't need to do that, do we?
Well, if you want to give yourself some applause, you go for it, Curt.
There.
Okay.
I try to do some applause.
There you go. You feel
All
better?
right. I don't even know if it went. There we
I
go.
okay. All right. Reasons you might be messy that have nothing to do with laziness, because oftentimes I feel like I beat myself up because there is still like I am sitting in one of those rooms actually as we speak.
God, look behind me. You
It's
know,
just clutter, right? There's like clutter, and it's not terrible. It's not like this terrible, terrible thing, but it's like, I don't know.
right.
Anyway, I
And
found this story very interesting.
right. We popped this up yesterday as chime in on this if you want to. The reasons you might be messy that have nothing to do with being lazy. Right away, people say, oh, you're just lazy. No, maybe not.
I mean, these are the experts saying this, that, your home is messy and disorganized. Yeah, we're with you. But some people may view this as a sign of laziness. And in reality, there are some really legit reasons why this might be happening. One of them
Okay.
being you might have ADHD.
Oh.
If you have ADHD, disorganization is one of the hallmark symptoms
Hmm.
of this, that you just can't, like, the executive function in your brain doesn't work the way
I
that
was diagnosed later in life, about maybe 15 years ago with ADHD. Not so much the H. I don't usually get hyperactive, but it's and I've seen a lot of things pop up, a lot of short videos on social media talking about this because it's becoming more, less of a stigma, I guess, to share these kind of things, which is good. But yeah, like I will look at one of two things will happen. I'll look at a project, say there's no way I can get that done today. I'll just put it off till tomorrow. When, as you know, if you just would do it a little bit at a time, guess what? It would get finished.
yeah.
Or you just midway through, and I think you and I have both had this happen midway through the project. Oh, look at this! I just found this thing. I was cleaning up and I found this thing. I haven't
Oh,
used this in forever. What can I do with this?
That's one of
So.
the that's one of the other reasons, is that when you start to tackle a task of
Mhm.
decluttering, like there's a flood of memories that come back. Like that's one of the reasons, like you're trying to avoid like some of the emotionally challenging is what they're saying, right? That it's
Yeah, yeah.
decluttering can be emotionally challenging because of what you just said.
Right. And that was it was going back to when we were working together and our boss, Kent Phillips, would start, this is a quick example. He would say something like, okay, we're in our quarterly meeting. We've got something very important to share, but before we talk about that, make sure you get your vacation requests in. And then in my head, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta call my sister and see if I can fly right into Tampa. And is there a direct flight from here to Tampa? And how much is it going to cost? And what day is she available? Should I go during the week or on the weekend? And I
And
want to
now
get,
you're
how do I
no
get?
longer paying attention.
Exactly. It's gone. And whatever the
Yeah.
important thing was, they're already, a minute into that, like, oh man, I just missed some important stuff. So, ADHD, real thing. Hopefully, you're able to deal with that if you have it, but that's also why you may have a disorganized house.
Dealing with depression or anxiety can be a reason.
Hmm.
That's kind of that it means our homes are a reflection of our state of mind. And
So
that's
that
so if you're
lack of motivation, right?
yeah, yeah. You might be going through a stressful life transition. Oh, wait, what? It could be anything from like having a baby to starting college, moving in with someone
Mhm.
else, or just moving in general. getting
Right.
married, going through a divorce, dealing with hormonal changes, or losing your job.
All of the above. Yes. Those are the stressful situations that can, are you saying, don't beat yourself up too much, I guess, if you have a hard time with some of these things, because yeah, if somebody says you're just lazy, uh, you might say, you know what, I have a laid back personality. And that's actually one of the reasons listed here by the experts. You may have a laid back personality and are not as organized or orderly as other people.
I feel like I have this when it comes to decluttering.
What's that?
Indecisiveness. It's called decisional procrastination.
Mm.
Decisional procrastination. I like that.
If you
People,
don't want to make a decision about where to put certain items or whether to
that's
give
right.
away or keep them, you may end up avoiding the decision altogether. What did my dad call that? Analysis paralysis.
Oh,
Which
yes.
is the same thing if you're at the grocery store and you're looking at, I don't know, something that there's a lot of, say it's cough medicine, and you're like, oh, well, this one is this many ounces for this much, and this one's this many ounces for that much, but this one is long lasting, but this one is fast acting. And then you're just like, that ends up paralyzing you by overanalyzing. You end up, like it says here, not being able to make a decision at all.
Here's the thing.
Mm,
Everybody's lives with some kind of clutter. Like maybe just a little, some people just have maybe a tiny little bit. Very few people have zero clutter. And then
right,
most people are in the middle somewhere, right? But there's a tipping point. When do you have too much? It's when it creates chaotic living for you. Like
right,
you can measure it with, is it causing you distress? Is it affecting your livability of your space? Is it taking a toll on your relationships, or is it harming your financial well-being? Like, is
right,
it big? Are you running late for work every day because you can't find something that you need in your house? That kind of thing.
right,
So,
right.
you know
So
what? Tackle one thing at a time. Take it one thing at a time, but just do it. Just start.
that's the way it goes. Yes, that good information to have. On a completely different subject, Billie Eilish, who everybody loves, superstar Billie Eilish, just made an announcement. Well, I guess it was during a podcast. She was being interviewed, and she said she lost all of her friends when she got famous. She was 14 years old when she got famous. She lost all of her friends when she got famous because she couldn't relate to anybody, which I guess makes sense. Because, I've always thought, when you'd hear these big music stars, movie stars complain about, oh, I can't go out to the same places I used to go to, or I can't go anywhere without photographers or whatnot. I would always think, well, quit your job. You've got $1 billion, do something else where you're not being hounded all the time by the press. But, if it's what you love and what you want to do, and in this case, she's saying that all of her friends were she couldn't relate to them anymore, I guess, which was really, really hard for her. And then finally, basically, she hired some of her friends to be, excuse me, essentially employees. So
Interesting.
now she's like, all my friends became my employees, which I felt was fine. I have so many friends, she thought, but then it was my 20th birthday, and I remember looking around the room. It was only people that I employ, and all
Oh,
of them were 15 years older than her. So the
wow.
the stresses of being Billie Eilish, I guess.
Well, I mean, you know what? With fame, especially when you're younger, comes other things. And
Right.
I was looking up as you were reading some of your story because you said this started at the age of 14. I'm like, how old is Billie Eilish? She's
I think she's
22.
22.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
22
And it
years
seems
old.
like she's been around for longer than that. But yeah, so that's a real deal. That I'd never considered, that, all your friends somehow become alienated, but you didn't do anything different. You just happen to have a hit record. And now yeah. So I could see how that would be.
Kurt, I love cheese and I love Costco. What's happening? There's a
Oh,
recall that I need to know about?
perhaps. Just wanted to share this as kind of a just so you know type of thing. This is Tillamook cheese, which right away you're like, oh, the best.
Uh-huh.
People that are listening or viewing us that aren't in the Pacific Northwest, see if you can find Tillamook cheese around where you are, except for these Tillamook cheese slices sold at Costco and just in the Northwest have been recalled. It's The deal is there may be small plastic pieces, gray and black plastic pieces in some
Gross.
products.
Is that all? Is that all that's happening?
And it's
Okay.
in an abundance of caution. And it's part of our commitment to product quality and safety. We are voluntarily taking action to remove this product from the marketplace. The plastic pieces may be in the Monterey Jack cheese that was sold in a 32-ounce twin pack of Tillamook Colby Jack and Tillamook Monterey cheese slices. Actually, I've seen that two pack at Costco. Do you get
Yeah,
that
but
stuff?
we don't, unless it's different at whatever Costco you go to. At my Costco, we only have the cheddar slices. We don't have those other fancy slices. I didn't even know those existed
Well,
in twin
yeah, I'm just
packs at
giving.
Costco.
How about an item number 651195?
Oh my gosh, no, we don't need that. Here's the great thing about
uh,
Costco is that you have to have a membership, right? So they can track everyone that bought when whatever they bought. So they send letters out. So you should be
okay,
good if you're checking your
right.
mail at least.
Just a heads up before you, if you see some little black specks in your cheese, it may not be pepper or something like that. It's perhaps little pieces of plastic. Now, I'm mentioning this because I'd say, you know what? Send that recalled cheese to us because we will eat it. Little pieces of plastic are not that big of a deal
Speak
to
for
have some delicious
yourself. I'm
Tillamook
not
cheese.
eating that. No
You just said
way.
a second ago, it's not that big of a deal. That's all. You
No.
just said that.
Oh, I was being facetious, like, oh, is that all? There's just plastic pieces in your cheese.
You want that
I mean,
cheese,
I love me some cheese, but
Shantira.
I don't want some plasticky things or it's gonna scrape up my throat.
Okay. Well,
All
then
right,
don't buy any. Happy story. Love these. In
doggies.
Oregon, yeah, it starts out a little sad, but it gets happy. In Oregon, this is a Washington County, Oregon sheriff's deputy named William Armstrong that responded to a report of animal abuse on, this is about a month ago, on May 5th or so. They found a mixed breed female dog cowering in the corner, covered in cuts and lacerations
Oh,
on her snout and her head. All right. So apparently, this dog was dropped off at somebody else's house, and they said, we don't want this dog. And then that person called the police and said, hey, they handed me this dog. It's in pretty bad shape. We can't take the dog either. So the deputies came and they took the dog in and named it Dice to get some medical care. And now the deputy who responded to the call is adopting Dice.
aw.
So getting a good home. And um after they met with a veterinarian and the vet said, yeah, these injuries are, were, done by the previous owner, they were able to go and arrest the previous owner and charge them with animal abuse and neglect. So hooray for that, and hooray for Dice, who has been renamed Trilly, short for Trillium, and her new owner, the deputy. So good for them.
That's awesome. I like
I
good
know.
stories like that.
I love that too.
So
That,
you have a lot of your family, all of your family, is that right? All of your family in Florida?
yes, we were born in Cincinnati, and my dad retired from Procter and Gamble, and then he and mom moved to Florida to Fort Myers, and then shortly after, my middle sister went down to Tampa, and then my other smallest sister, the littlest, went to Bonita Springs. So now they're all down there, and
Okay,
I'm up
so
here.
is that why you wanted to talk about this Florida story?
Oh, gosh, I almost forgot about that. No, but there is actually a thing you can do that I believe it was you go to Google and you type in your birth date, right? So it's for me, August 26th, followed by the word Florida man. Or for you, Jen, you type in your birthday and Florida man. And without fail, every day of the year, there'll be some goofy story about somebody in Florida that did something dorky. So basically saying 365 days a year, there's something going on in Florida that's weird or goofy or
What?
whatnot.
That's
So
weird. You type in your birth date and then Florida man?
yeah, and it'll say, okay, on your birthday, here's 5 stories. One Florida man did this. Florida man did something else stupid. That's basically just saying that there's a lot of weirdos in Florida, I guess.
Okay.
This story um, starts with a Florida man took a sibling dispute to a particularly dirty level. His name is Damien. He was arrested after he was having an argument with his brother. His brother apparently, no, Damien, I'm sorry. Damien was the one who was arrested. He is somewhat paralyzed because they said that he was ambulatory by using his upper body. That's how he could do damage. I guess he was smashing walls and throwing things around.
Yeah.
Um, so the end result is the police were called and they took him away. But before everyone was out of danger, this guy Damien took off a diaper. Evidently, he wears diapers, which was full of everything that goes into a diaper, and he threw it at his brother, hitting him in the chest. A
Why are we talking about this?
you know what? I don't know. You were like, find some things to talk about, and I did not know it was assault. to throw a dirty diaper at somebody, but apparently, if you're thinking about doing that next time you have an argument, keep your diaper on. Don't.
I apparently need to go through this content before we hit record.
That's particularly low. You're related. It's your brother, and you're like, you know what? You can haul me away to the police, but here, I'm
Oh
going to
my,
chuck this at you.
these
So
are the kind of calls that the police have to go to, and if there's anyone injured, the fire department has to
right.
go to. Oh my gosh.
Well, I thought
Okay.
it'd be good to follow up the nice deputy adopting the dog story with, here's what else police have to deal with: dirty diapers from adults being thrown at their relatives.
I want to mention one more thing really quickly, not having to
Okay.
do with this. Are you done with your dirty diaper throwing at
Oh
people's?
yeah, there's not much more to you say there. That's what happened.
Okay, great. So my friend, we worked with Bree, right?
Hmm. Right.
Bree, I saw a post on Bree's Facebook page, and she's like, I love what happens when you go to O'Reilly's Auto Parts website and then type in the search bar 121G. And
Way
so
to
I'm
do
like,
that?
what? And that, because I read the comments, because I'm like, oh, is this like some kind of hack? It's going to get hacked into my computer, like it's bad things are going to happen. And I'm reading through some of the comments, are like, oh my gosh, I love that they still have this. It's so cool that they do this. And so I did it. And don't give it away, Curt, because if people haven't done it, they should do it, because I think it's fun. But
Well, let me see
if you're a
what you got
child
to
of
tell
the
me.
80s, you'll love it.
You got to tell me what to type in again, and I won't say what it is. But what do I type
Okay,
in? Search
so
by
it's
product.
O'Reilly's. You're at O'Reilly's Auto Parts website.
Mm-hmm.
So go in like you're going to search for a part in the search bar and type in
Okay.
121G.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't
I
that
need
kind
one
of
of
fun?
those.
I know. Well, they even have a disclaimer on it. So
Yeah. Oh, it's not available for purchase right now, but maybe it's just back ordered.
fresh
That's
out.
okay. So that's funny. 121G is what you type in at the O'Reilly Auto Parts website on the search bar,
Yeah.
and then that's very nice. I love that, and I'm glad that it wasn't a trick, or like you
No.
said, it's like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Tomorrow, I am excited to talk about this because I did something with my mom that is really cool, and
Mhm.
I learned some things about her that I never knew. And so it just filled my heart with a lot of joy. In fact, I had a box of Kleenex out when I was doing this particular thing with her, and I'm the one
What
that used the Kleenex.
are they? Jen's Kleenex with lotion?
Of course, Curt. Yes, it always is.
Hold this up for the people that are watching.
I always have Kleenex with lotion. It makes a difference on my nose, on my delicate nose. Pat
Yeah, but
doesn't
you
think
wrote
there's
on the side in Sharpie, Jen's Kleenex with lotion.
that one.
As if,
That one was a joke because
Mhm.
I was using as a little prop. But
I don't know how much of a joke it is. It seemed like you want people to know that that is your Kleenex with lotion, and don't touch these.
right. Well, I share my Kleenex
So
with lotion anyway.
the
Um,
uh
so
the
tomorrow,
thing you're mentioning for tomorrow, when you told me about this, I think that this is awesome, and it gives you an opportunity to find out things about your parents you may not have known,
yeah, good.
which every now and again something comes up that my dad, we were just talking last time I was down in Florida visiting him a couple weeks ago, and he pulled out a picture of him with his dad at the bar that his dad owned. I was like, wow. So grandpa, who didn't, and that my dad's dad passed away when I was like 9, so I didn't get to know him very much at
He
all.
owned a bar.
Hmm.
Oh,
And and
you know what the name of it is
I
or
don't.
was?
It's in Cincinnati near Vine Street. But just seeing this old picture with the little sign on the bar that said hot dogs, a nickel,
Oh my
like
God.
that's pretty stinking cool. So, all right, I can't wait to hear more about this tomorrow when you share more about it, Jen.
Okay, thank you. In the
Mhm.
meantime, have an
Yeah,
awesome, awesome day today. Make good
please do.
choices, find joy, and spread kindness. And thank you so much for listening.